What's up, Bug Dug with Danny in the garage. Today we're going to do some more automotive news. I've got 6 stories, pertinent things that are going on in the automotive world that I think are interesting enough for you to hear about. We got big trouble in Ford Bronco country, another Ram recall, Corvette C8 Hybrid update, Subaru's EV woes, the Jeep Commander making a comeback, and proof that Toyota is nothing more than a front company for, let's call them state-sponsored supervillains, because if I say the other word, I'm going to get demonetized, and nobody wants to see that. Let's start with the 2022 Jeep Commander and Grand Commander confirmed. Only in Latin America, not going to see it in North America, at least not yet, as a 3-row version of the Jeep Compass, which, sure, why not? That kind of came out of left field. All I have to say about it is I see what Stellantis is doing. Amateur hour, get your stuff together here, Doug. I see what Stellantis is doing, and I don't really have time for it. They're watering down the Jeep brand. They're trying to live off the legacy of the past, and more importantly, they're trying to capitalize on the popularity of the Wrangler and the Gladiator, and even the Grand Cherokee to a slightly lesser extent, to sell us these watered down versions of Alfa Romeos and Fiats. And you know what? I put up with it for a long time. I'm over it now. Let's just sell Jeeps that live up to the Jeep name. And if you've got a 3-row Compass you want to sell somebody, call it a Fiat, call it a Chrysler, call it whatever the heck you want. Don't call it a Jeep. Let's move on to Bronco. This is our marquee story for the month. There is big trouble in Bronco country in the form of the Bronco hardtops. What is happening? Full-size Broncos come with the removable hardtop, and some customers are reporting some pretty huge degradations in fitment and quality after exposure to humidity and rain. No big deal, not many cars get caught in the rain, right? I guess what's happening, the hardtops, which are not made by Ford, they're made by a German company called Webesto, which, here's a side note, Ford, if you're gonna remake an American classic, I don't know, maybe use American parts. That's just one guy's opinion. Basically, after your truck's been out in the rain and the humidity, the edges of the molded body color hardtops start to kind of look like particle board that was used as a beer pong table at a frat house. It starts to expand and it gets real gross looking. Customers have been complaining. To Ford's credit, they are taking this seriously. They are replacing every single hardtop made to date, whether it's currently experiencing the issue or not. But unfortunately, this is going to lead to even further delays to new Broncos coming out of the Michigan plant. Already they're way backed up by logistical setbacks, by chip shortages. This is just going to be another thing working against them. But they are doing some things to mitigate the effect to the customer. They will reward you for waiting with some Ford Pass rewards, which can be used to purchase extra accessories or even towards your down payment, which I couldn't find a specification on how that one works, but I dig that. Additionally, if you, instead of ordering a 2021, are willing to order a 2022 or 2023, essentially meaning, you know, you're committing that you want a Bronco, but saying, hey, that's fine, get it to me in a year, they will let you lock in 2021 pricing, which that's kind of cool, because in 2023, another 2 years from now, the Bronco's going to be more expensive for sure. So if you want a Bronco and you're willing to wait maybe 2 years, and you don't mind if you get a roof made out of particle board, now is probably the time. Moving on down the line, we are getting another version of the Chevy C8 Corvette in the form of the E-Ray. That's right, we're getting a hybrid all-wheel drive Corvette. Now, if they announced they were coming out with a hybrid all-wheel drive Challenger or a hybrid all-wheel drive Camaro, I would be pissed, because much like the Mustang, which Ford already turned into I don't know if that's got to be all-wheel drive, right? Is it the Mach-E? Not sure. Doesn't matter. They already turned it into a hybrid. The Camaro, the Challenger, they're American muscle cars. They got no business being hybrids, all-wheel drive, this, that, and the third. Conversely, the Corvette since day one was always designed to be a cutting-edge vehicle meant to go head-to-head with its European contemporary. So I have no problem with this. This seems like a logical move for a vehicle that has always kind of been at the forefront of automotive technology, at least from an American muscle point of view. What we're looking at here, again, all-wheel drive hybrid, 6.2 liter V8 making 495 horsepower, and those horsepower are all going to the rear axle with an electric e-boost motor for the front axle. Potential, now we don't have actual numbers, but some are speculating a 0 to 60 time of Christmas amateur hour. I'm so excited I'm tripping over my own words. A 0 to 60 time of 2 seconds flat with a 25 to 35 mile zero emission range, which isn't all that impressive, but you got the V8 for when that kicks out. So we're probably looking at a 2023 model year starting at 100K, which really isn't that bad considering what you're getting. The new E8, oh my goodness, I really can't talk today. I get so excited about the news. That's how passionate I am about bringing this stuff to you guys. The new C8 looks darn good. I had the pleasure of following one. There's a big mountain in my town, following it up the mountain the other day while this guy was just downshifting, drop a gear, disappear. I got no problem with this. I cannot wait to see the videos of a hybrid all-wheel drive C8 absolutely launching down a track somewhere. I guess this is aimed at the hybrid Acura NSX. That's what it's going to go head-to-head with, which is a very similar layout and platform. I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see the YouTube videos of those two going head-to-head. Now, how about some Ram news? We got the 2015 to 2020 Ram 2500 and 3500. They're being recalled for major airbag issues. I guess the side impact airbags will pop for no reason. That's not even the worst of it. They are firing steel shrapnel at the passengers when they do so. Great. Awesome. Now, Ram's not alone in this one. GM had to recall 400,000 vehicles last month for airbags from the same supplier. So it's not necessarily a GM issue or a Ram issue, it's the supplier, but it's still a bummer for Ram trucks. 2 months ago they were being recalled because the wheels were falling off. Now the things are popping off. I mean, what's next? Are the rear axle's gonna fall out? Is the roof gonna fly off? Who knows? Get your Ram trucks while you can. Moving down the line to some Subaru news. Subaru apparently is getting shamed in the media for having a lack of EV vehicles. Now that's not to say they're not working on it. They've announced a 2024 Subaru Solterra, which is really just a rebadged Toyota. It's a battery electric vehicle, full electric vehicle. It's hideous. It's gross looking. It looks like a Hyundai to me, and that is not a compliment. But that's not why I bring this up. I read a number of articles where the author was just shaming Subaru for not chasing EV vehicles like, say, Toyota or definitely GM, to a lesser extent Ford and Honda. And to that I say, who cares? They're giving the people what they want. Here are the top 5 best-selling vehicles in North America so far in 2021. Ford F-Series, Ram trucks, Chevy Silverado. Those are the top 3 in order. Number 4, the RAV4. Number 5, the CR-V. For those interested, I know I was, the Wrangler came in at 14. There are no battery electric vehicles in the top 5. There were no battery electric vehicles in the top 25. Consumers don't want battery electric vehicles. Maybe not ever, definitely not yet. What's selling? Ford F-Series trucks are selling. So why in the world would Subaru waste their time with battery electric vehicles going hard on it when that's not what the customers want? Governments are pushing these vehicles. And I need, or feel the need, to remind everybody, the government serves the majority. It is not the other way around. I think it's time we stop letting our automakers get bullied by the Gretas of the world and just allow them to build what people want to buy. Yes, there are people that want battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles, but it is not a significant market share. So make like 5 of those for the 3 eco-terrorists that want one, and then for the rest of us, make SRT Dodge Challengers and Ford F-Series trucks and Ram TRXs and whatever Chevy does these days truck-wise. I imagine the RAV4 and the CR-V probably have hybrid versions, and I could not find a breakdown of how many of those were hybrids and how many of those were traditional internal combustion engines, but they're not battery electric vehicles. Stop shaming Subaru for giving the people what they want. On that note, speaking of what the people want, we are still chasing the 2022 WRX and Forester Wilderness Editions. They were supposed to be released at the New York International Auto Show, which was sadly canceled after being rescheduled. We all know why, no big deal. We're living with it, we're getting through it. Let's move on to my personal favorite story that we have to talk about this month. Proof, once and for all, that Toyota is a company for supervillains. Now, I'm not sure what words I can actually use here and what words will result in YouTube demonetizing this video, so I'm going to tap dance as best I can. But here are the facts. 2022 Land Cruiser went on sale in Japan on August 2nd. You want one? No big deal, they're about 46 grand. Not an exorbitant amount of money for a precision piece of Japanese engineering. What you are gonna have to do is sign a waiver confirming that you will not sell the vehicle for at least 1 year. Why would they do this? Why does Toyota care what you do with the vehicle? You give them the 46 grand, they give you the car, it's your car, do whatever you want with it. Well, I guess Toyota has a problem. Their biggest fan? Those state-sponsored supervillains who recently retook Afghanistan. That's right, for a long time, Toyota has had a huge problem being associated with people driving across the desert in Toyota Helixes with anti-aircraft guns strapped to the back. And so to stem the tide of Toyota vehicles, specifically Land Cruisers, I guess, from being shipped out of Japan to Middle Eastern countries where the state sponsors supervillains, you can't sell your new whatchamacallit, whatever, Toyota for 1 year. And just in general, if you're watching the news, man, the bad guys are driving Toyota. So what I'm here to say is, don't be a supervillain. Christmas, amateur hour, I ruined my big moment. Don't be a supervillain, just say no to Toyota. Either that or, man, I want to say the word, but I just can't. I'll spell it, T-E-R, no, not gonna do it. All right, so there's the news, folks. I'd love to know what you guys think about the stories in the news for this month. If you were in Latin America, would you want a 3-row Compass? I owned a 2018 Compass, and I'm here to tell you, no, I wouldn't want that. The Bronco hardtops, do you have a Bronco? I see these things everywhere. I know people with them. I'm not hating on the Bronco because I'm a fan. I'm here for it. I think there's nothing better than healthy competition. So as a fan of the Wrangler, I'm happy to see that they're being challenged, and I do believe that Jeep will come out on top in that one, but that's not what we're talking about here. Do you have a new Bronco? Have you seen any of these particle board tops? Are you currently waiting for yours? Would you take a 2023, confirm or commit to buying a new car 2 years from now if it means you could lock in 2021 pricing? Let's talk about the Corvette. Now, I know I could not afford a new C8. I can't afford to even test drive a new C8, but I am here for the hybrid. I think that's awesome. I can't wait to see what a Corvette going 0 to 60 in 2 seconds looks like. Do you have one of these big Ram trucks? Have you had a problem where the you went to stop at a stop sign, instead of stopping, the side airbag punched you in the face with a bunch of steel? I'm guessing not, but seems some people are having that issue. How about the Subaru getting shamed? Can we get a little Subaru love here? And even if we're not getting Subaru love, can we all just agree that it's time to stop shaming? We got to stop letting the Californias of the world tell our automakers what to do and just let the people speak. Because what do the people want? They want F-Series trucks. They want Ram trucks. They want Chevy Silverados. They don't want battery electric vehicles that they have to plug in if they want to go to Wally World. And it's a whole mess. It's a whole thing. I'm not saying they're not the future, and I'm not saying they won't save the planet. I'm just saying it's not what people are willing to spend their money on. And I think it's time that we stop shaming auto companies for giving the people what they want. And what do you think about Toyota being the official brand of supervillains everywhere? Personally, that's making my day. So leave me a comment down there in the squawk boxes. Let me know if you have an opinion on any of these stories, or what news stories you do have an opinion on that I did not talk about. If you like the video, that's just common sense. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe go check out our website, monkeywithatoolbox.com. As always, thanks for watching.